guys, what's up? So range report, here we go. Basically today we finally, after all this time, we're finally able to get out to the range and do some actual shooting and product testing and all the kind of gee whiz bang stuff we do. Speaking of product testing, here we go. See this guy right here? Check out my brother's thing. My brother and my sister-in-law's deal. Downing Fabrication, I believe is what it is. Anyway, they make stencils and stuff. Anyway, and other things. Soon to be more on that later. Anyway, what we're doing now, we're gonna do range report. So let's do range report. Okay, so we came out here with 4 things to do. 4 things. One thing we did is I got some sights from 2A Warehouse. These are, I think they're Mariglows. I like these sights. I just wanted to make sure they were on. Just a nice big orange front sight. I think it's tritium on the inside, but it glows. It's a glowy sight, bright orange, right? And then blacked out rears. This actually works really well. It grabs your attention. It grabs your eyeball, which is really cool. And right now I don't have a red dot for this. Hopefully the 507K will get released sometime. But when that comes, that'll go on here. And that'll be really cool. But until then, these are really nice sights. And from what I understand, the 507K, sorry about the wind, I'm sure it's going to wreak havoc on everything. But from what I understand, the 507K does not need suppressor height sights. It sits low enough to where I should be able to use these, which would be awesome. Awesome. So that's one thing we did, just confirm 0 with that. And just again, some cycle, slide, action kind of stuff, you know, with this weird slide. Worked great. Wonderful, no problem. Something else we came out here and did is we looked at the 43X again. Yay! We're so bored and tired of that. But for real, with the Suarez International slide cut that I mentioned before in my video when I did about like the overall everything about this, developments happened after that, and I was made aware that there is a 2.0 NSA plate, right? Or an NSA 2.0 plate. And basically it has those recoil lugs that I wanted. There you go. So we tested that out today. So far, so good. It worked just fine. One thing I will say from what I'm thinking the problem is, this gets a pretty stiff and heavy trigger whenever I mount that. And generally what that is that's Loctite going down from one of these screws. I know which one, but it ends up getting Loctite on stuff it's not supposed to get Loctite on. So I'll have to take this apart and clean it, but that won't affect the 0 or anything. It's not NSA's fault, or not NSA. It's not the NSA's fault. It's not Suarez International's fault. It's just, that's part of how it is. I just need to clean that out. But this worked really well. I was able to get it zeroed. Again, for my personal preference on what I personally use, this is a 7-yard gun. Zeroed at 7 yards with the red dot. So I zeroed at 7 yards. We did a bunch of slide racking stuff. I don't know, probably can't see much on the hood or anything. But we racked it off pretty hard, some heavy stuff that should have knocked it loose if it was going to get knocked loose. And it worked pretty well. Along with those 2 things, I continued. I used a couple of the S15 magazines, but we know they work. It's kind of like they work. We've tested these. They work just fine. I didn't use any of their +5 mag extensions today because I have some Tyrant, or a Tyrant mag extension that goes on a standard Glock 43X 48 magazine, okay? And this worked great too. I found out you can force 15 rounds into this, but you'll bind your spring up a little bit, and so that's not a knock against them. This is not designed or intended or advertised to be a 15-round magazine, right? This is a 10-round magazine, excuse me, this is a 10-round magazine with a, I believe it's a +4 mag extension. So put 14 in here, don't put 15, you'll bind up the spring. That's probably why. But it worked fine, I had no issues with it. Sometimes it didn't lock back, but that's when we were doing a bunch of crazy other stuff with it. So who knows, is what it is, but it worked fine. I like it. The other thing, we came out and we function checked the this guy. This guy's fun. This guy's actually really fun. My quote unquote ultimate AR-15, ultimate AR pistol. Not AR-15, ultimate AR pistol. This is a pistol, and this has some awesome stuff. Talking about my brother's thing that he did back there, he was also able to do this right there, which is etched. That's not a stencil. And he etched this guy right here and just some other stuff. Really cool. But he was able to do that, and I built out this thing. I'm going to do a full video on this. I haven't. This is mainly just a function test for today. I have fired this barrel before. It's that 11.5-inch barrel that I had it before, and I had some other buddies come out and shoot it. Surprisingly, very soft recoil, and surprisingly, at an 11.5-inch barrel, right? This is not a comp. This is a flash hider. It's an A2 style flash hider. It has it's a mount basically for dead air stuff. But it's an A2. It says no comp, no booster, nothing like that. Okay, and it's an 11.5-inch barrel with a mid-length gas system. This thing beautifully ejects everything right out to like the 3:30, 4 o'clock. It's gold. It's amazing, and it shoots very smooth. I am madly in love with it. That's why I call this thing the ultimate AR pistol, or I think I called it pistol. I don't remember, but that's what it is. It's a carbine style firearm, not in my book intended yet. It's not tested for like extended beyond 300 yards kind of stuff. I still need to bring it up to the top of the hill and try it out at about 300. But shooting wolf Tula stuff, cycle-wise, didn't have an issue. Not a single issue. Running an H2 buffer in a blue sprinkle spring, not a single freaking issue. Zeroed it easily zeroed, I think is the proper term. Easily zeroed. I just like it. I like it for what it is. For a relatively lightweight thing, it's awesome. Anyway, but I'll do full workup on this kind of thing, and hopefully, Lord willing, knock on wood, all the other things, the suppressor will come in. Or the suppressor's in. Hopefully the tax stamp will come in. Maybe even before next week. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that was that guy. I love it. Love it. With it, I'm going to say one thing. With this, I do intend to run this in some training classes, which I think I've been saying that for a while, but I'm going to be running this, Lord willing, unless something happens and the universe explodes. There's that wind. You probably can't hear me, so I'm going to speak up, but I'm hopefully going to be running this into those training classes. I think it would be a very good test for this guy, and then maybe even in some tactical games later on this year. We'll see. While we do that, while we run this gun and test it, we're also going to be using this Radco lube. I don't know. I'll put a picture in there for you. I met these guys over at the tactical games. This guy's a genius guy. I don't know, but this is an CLP stuff that I guess they have military contracts and stuff. It's just CLP. He told me straight up, and this is why I like him. He's not saying this is the best stuff since sliced cheese, right? He's not saying this is the best stuff out there. He's just saying this is a very good product, and he made it and he stands behind it. Cool. I'm gonna run it. So I'm going to be using, and he gave out all the competitors some of this stuff. So this is enough for me to last for a while. And I'm just going to run this gun with this oil. So this will be its own little kind of test and see if there's any difference. I've been using Breakthrough and or Break Clean, whatever it's called. And I'm going to run this stuff and see if it makes any difference. I doubt it will make a big difference, but it'll be interesting to see. We'll put it in for a run for its money. Anyway, the other thing we did was we tried out this new 300 Blackout. This is going to be a whole, I have in my mind, I'm going to do this whole big, huge, long series. It'll probably fizzle out to nothing, and I'll make a couple videos like this, and it'll never get mentioned again. Hopefully not. But I really think that this has some great potential. A 6-inch ballistic advantage barrel, and right now it's got this big old flash hider on here because the only suppressor I have to run on it right now is this big old stinking 100-pound arms trash can. And we'll see. It actually works fine. It works fine. I did some chrono stuff today with 150 grain. We're running about 1500. I need it to get up to 18 and above, which if I use 110s and some lighter weight loads, which I'm planning on doing that, I think we can get there. And it'll be interesting to see how that cyclic rate and how it feels and everything. I can tell you, shooting it is a thumpy gun. I've heard people say that before, and as a shooter, if you shoot much, you kind of understand thumpy. It's not sharp, it is more thumpy. And shooting this compared to like a 7.5-inch AR, a 7.5-inch AR sounds like an atomic bomb goes off in your ear, right? It shatters your soul. It's that concussive and nasty. This is not that bad. I was actually pleasantly surprised. So anyway, I'm trying that out. The Law Tactical folder, an actual Law Tactical folder. I have the fake one, and it's okay, but it's garbage, pretty much. Not something I would trust my life to. This is solid, and I'm going to be running this guy and doing some other stuff with other things. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to go put out a fire that I started on the range, because dry weather and steel shooting steel doesn't necessarily go together very well, so I'm going to put that out, hang around for a minute, make sure I don't light this range on fire, and I'm going to get out of here, get back home. So if y'all have any questions about any of the stuff you saw here, I'll probably have a video of it up sometime. That's generally what I do, come out here and shoot videos. But yeah, let me know if you have any specific questions about this stuff. I'll do my best to answer you. If I don't answer you, I might just be cryptic because I'm not talking about everything yet. But yeah, let me know what y'all think and what y'all have the questions about. All right, y'all be good to be safe. Appreciate you watching and everything. I'm gonna put this fire out. All right, y'all take care. Catch you in the next video. All right, quick shout out to Pinty. They sent me this optic out a little while ago. It's like a small, like a, no, I'm not Trichicon, like a Bushnell TRS-25 size, right? Or an aim point size, maybe a little bit bigger than aim point. But not a bad optic. It has a red reticle and a green reticle. But I have not been able to get out and actually shoot this thing as much as I want to, so I'm not going to give a review on something that I haven't spent the time on using yet. So stay tuned for a optic review on this guy once I get some more time with it. But big shout out to them for them sending that out. It's actually holding up pretty well.